could still be alive down here in the caves.
I want to use... It would be track, not survival, wouldn't it? To try and figure out...
Is track a separate skill?
It is a separate skill.
10%.
Wow.
One I do not have.
So opposite. See,
So brutal.
I wish that we didn't get locked into this system, but I mean, I understand why they did it this way because it is supposed to create that Cthulhuan sensibility, but
Like all these very niche...
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, are you a tracker? No, I'm not the
No,
tracker.
I'm not a tracker.
I'm the survivalist.
Well,
And you could still roll and make it under 10.
You should roll survival because it has adjacent abilities. So if you're very, very good, you'll get some tracking benefit out of it. So
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. I'll attempt to use survival to see if there's like markings around there to indicate a direction or something. 56 under 90, so not the under 50%.
Okay, so you can't find anything significant. There's just like it's fairly clear that it doesn't look like. No, there's no way you can know that. It's basically it doesn't look as though the walkie-talkie it doesn't have blood on it. It doesn't have like anything that looks like it was snatched, or like it could have been something that was knocked out of someone's hand and then it was smashed, but basically it seems to be sitting there as if it was just thrown to the ground.
Well, I mean, I think the best thing we can do is to just search with our
We should fan out and
flashlights.
search this area very carefully around.
At which point, when you say the fanning out, once again, you see that Deborah is already like off further from here. And you can see her flashlight kind of scan. Like you guys all came over here and were very interested.
I'm gonna contact her, Deborah. Sure. Get over here now.
What's there? It's you found the walkie, right? I'm just looking further ahead to see whether or not there's anything here.
We are going to search this area.
She is searching areas. She's just searched further along.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, she hasn't gone deeper in the cave. She's basically where you were. You guys all ran towards the walkie-talkie. She just went further beyond that to look further out now that you're here.
Hey Deborah, if you're that far out, we can't do anything if anything happens to you. You're a little far away from the group. Over.
I'm fine. You don't have to keep looking out for me. I can take care of myself.
Fair play. Okay.
She's not that far away. She's just like maybe 20
All
yards
right, well,
out.
let's
just horror movie death scene distance.
Yeah,
go
just
ahead
far
and-
enough
yeah.
away that you have enough
That when
time
her
to see
light
her being
goes
killed.
out,
Yeah.
that we just lose her completely.
Crack on.
let's go ahead and fan out.
All right, fanning out again.
All right.
Assume the position.
All right, so everyone should make spot hidden checks.
Nope.
I got a 7 under my 80.
Wow,
Which is definitely
that's extreme.
under my super.
Well, I critically fail. Right? Fumble is 96 plus. I've got a 96. Whatever that means.
You let's see. Do
You lose sight of
have-
everyone.
Make an education check.
Oh, interesting.
To who?
That is a 29 under 55, which is not my medium, but
Sure.
There you go.
Okay. You found a boot print.
Ooh. What size boot print?
Maybe Scott sized?
10.5.
Like you didn't really look carefully or measure his feet when he was still alive and hanging around with you guys, but it definitely looks like the kind of boot that people on the expedition would have been wearing.
So I see one, and then I sort of like guide my light to where, if it would be going forward.
As you're now looking, it looks like someone was carefully actually trying to make it so that these boot prints were obscured and somehow missed one or missed a part of one. Like it's not a whole print. It looks like people were clearly trying to walk in such a way to erase the prints, and then somehow this one, just a little portion of it got missed. Like the heel got like dug in.
I walk you over. It's like, I got something for you all to see. Got a footprint?
Like
People are now
a
interested.
paw print?
No. With boots. Boots on the ground.
At this point, even Deborah comes and joins and looks because she's interested in this.
So if everybody comes and then I say, right, you see here how it keeps going forward, but it lightens up almost like after this thing was smashed, trying to flee the area without trying to have their footprints indented as much. It lightens up. And
Yeah,
then,
now that you're actually so the cave floor is not soft soil, right? It's mostly just cave. So most of the time when you're walking around, you don't leave footprints behind. But every once in a while there's some soft areas and things like that. And now that you know what you're looking for, like you see this part of a heel, you go, oh, this is the direction they're going in, and you're looking, oh, this is the gait of a man, and you look at the areas, and you start to realize, wait a minute, someone's actually making a concerted effort that when they do leave any track behind, they're trying to hide it. Like they're purposely walking in harder areas, not making
What direction are they walking in?
further deeper back into the caves.
Very strange.
so is it one of those things where, like, I don't know this, but whether or not my character knows this, like what specifically is the most effective way to like obscure your footprints? Is it that you're just like not pressing down as hard? You're just like you walk slower, or you walk like on like the tips of your feet or something?
So mostly what's happening is to just not walk into any of the soft areas.
Okay.
Because the cave floor is mostly just like rocky, right? So you generally wouldn't leave any prints behind. But back here, it's not like you're walking on like floorboard or anything like that. It's like there's obscure areas, there's soft areas. And so what it looks like is that when they did step in something softer, they tried to scuff it out or like, run something over it. And it just happens that it looks like what happened is that wherever they stepped here, they didn't realize they left a print and didn't come back to try to get rid of it.
Yeah, and you can tell from where it's going that they're trying to step only on hard surfaces.
And when you do start looking, you realize that when they did step on something soft, obviously because this cave has been around for so long, no one's been here, once you look carefully where they obscured the prints that they did leave, it's very clear someone did something here.
Okay. It's the
it's
very
sort of like
obvious.
when you paint over an area and it's like new paint on old paint, and it's obvious that something's gone wrong. Now that you know you're looking for it, you can see it.
Well, if you won't give him the benefit of the doubt, you can maybe say he was trying not to be tracked by the monster. But whatever the circumstances is...
The monster does not use sight. It would not use.
Well,
it would not visually
Markham
look at the
wasn't-
tracks.
Markham wasn't with
Markham
us
didn't
to
know that.
know that yet, though. But that's giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Listen, it's some strange stuff is going on.
When we arrived at the bottom of the slope, is it really possible that Markham could have made his way
Why
away
would-
from us using what light he needed to figure his footing without us seeing his light in the tunnel?
I know enough about Markham that he would want to explore even further into the cave. Everything that I know about him is that it's always forward.
He wouldn't have
Always-
had time to collect supplies. He was.
The
He
man's
didn't
gone
have
mad.
anything with it.
He
Like,
had
he would have
nothing
had
with him.
just
He
wandered
fell
off.
down the slope
He,
same as us.
he doesn't care anymore. He just wants to
Well,
see the
just-
mission to the end, no matter what.
No, his state of mind must not be right.
Either way, we should just go deeper into
Does
the
not
caves.
follow
Let's
logic.
we found a footprint.
Can we
It's
follow
deeper
them?
in the cave? I mean, can we?
You can find enough that you can get a general trajectory of which direction, but at some point you also get back to rocky area that if you change direction you couldn't tell.
I say we just follow the symbols, right? What good would finding them be anyway?
Are we to the symbol yet? Or
So
past
no,
it?
so you've gone further towards 4 in terms of the direction you've gone in. So you got distracted going that way. If you want to go back towards where you originally saw the symbol, you'd head another 30 yards back to where you had originally like pulled away from and go back deeper. Because you got close to there and then you guys start fanning out and searching. So this is further towards 4, but you would have to go back to that area. Where he's going deeper in is not where the symbol is. You're further over.
He can't possibly be in his right mind, but that doesn't mean that we can just abandon him.
I mean, we don't even know if we're abandoning him, right?
This could be someone else who's here.
It's
who abducted him.
It's a faint footprint of a boot.
No one else is out here except for us and those creatures.
Other expeditions have gone missing, but that was long ago.
Our whole goal here, where we split up, was to investigate the cave more. I don't think we need to be looking out for Malcolm Scott. Once they come to rescue us, if they get the signal, the rescue team can help get Malcolm Scott. So if we stumble upon him, that's great. But
He will not survive until rescue team. He has no supplies.
And honestly, if he's wandering off when he could have easily have come back to us, I think he's given up on survival.
Or he hit his head and
is
does
disoriented.
not know what is going on. Yes.
Lost
And
track, doesn't
that's-
have a compass. He could be trying to make the best of his situation out here, and you're saying we should just abandon him?
I'm not saying we're abandoning him. I just say we neglect to find him.
It's a conscious uncoupling.
If we just stop thinking of him as a person, you don't have to feel bad when
No,
they
it's-
die.
we just say that the effort to find him is too great.
Well, I mean,
so-
if we're following his tracks, we're exploring more of the cave,
Before-
which is what our goal was to do anyway.
Our goal is to go to the symbols. On the assumption that it led to somewhere we could survive.
Deborah, what do you think?
This. Go ahead.
We came to look further down to see where these symbols lead. And we're looking for a place we can hold up to feel safe. It's like you said, if Scott has found his way deep in the caves, if he's lost his mind, he'll be a liability if we find him. He may already be dead. Right now, we need to focus on staying alive ourselves. So we go back and see where that symbol leads. If it was an example of a civilization, you yourself said, if there were people who were here, they had to have found shelter, food, water. That's what we should do.
Tree and jellyfish could be a marker to where those things are. Trees and jellyfish.
Yes, true. Jellyfish are a good source of food. Trees are a good source of oxygen and an indication that there's water.
Right, Deborah.
All right, well,
Steve?
Yeah,
we've been leaving markings.
any of those things here.
Yuri,
She's just saying stuff
She
now.
just pulled that one out of her ass.
Yuri, we've been leaving
Trees
markings.
are
Just if we're
trees.
gonna let's leave a
she's a
message.
biologist.
We will leave a mark
That makes it worse.
by this boot print, indicating the direction we are going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys,
And
could
we
use,
say-
you guys could use the crayons to draw a shoe and an arrow in the direction you're going. So that 100 years from now, the next expedition comes and says, we just found some symbols. Shoe arrow. It's like the counter to branch jellyfish.
Yes,
So it's like,
warring
it's the shoe arrow
factions.
tribe.
No, that'd be if one of us goes crazy, you just start doodling everywhere.
Yes,
And they're
it
like,
ruined
"Oh my
everything."
God, look at all these symbols. They had an entire race of toasters.
You can tell they're really bad at drawing hands, but they got better over time.
It would be great if like tree jellyfish was just another way of like that civilization saying something. Like the tree is actually just a set of arrows, but they drew the arrows differently.
What's this collection of drawings right around the October area?
Yeah, I know, right? So hilarious.
All
So
right.
are you guys gonna accept Deborah's idea and go back towards the symbol?
Symbols.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if we have somewhere to take Markham, if we find him, that would be good.
To the infirmary.
Yeah, we set up an infirmary.
The sanitarium.
You did bring the medical equipment, so like you could set up a infirmary, as it were. All right, so you guys like take your like wax drawing and you put shoe arrow or whatever way you mark it, and you come back through the various rock outcroppings and things like that, and push yourselves towards the symbol that you saw earlier, and it's fairly easy. It turns out that it doesn't get too much lower. If you're taller than 6 feet, you're gonna have a little bit of like crouching to have to do to stay under the ceiling. You can definitely tell that this is the kind of environment that if you had to do a panicked running, that at some point you would hit your head and be knocked out because the ceiling is so low. Like every once in a while, you can definitely tell that if you're not crunching down, you'll get scraped on the top by rock. And you get there, and the symbol is very clearly carved on one of these rock wall-like things that's part of the infrastructure, and it's close enough that you can see it and touch it because it's at head level.
I would love to touch it.
All right, you go up and touch it, and it's definitely carved into the rock. Everyone can see now that it's carved in, that it's actually like scratched in with something sharp and maybe stone or metal.
Now, is the carving next to like a cave entrance or something to indicate the next direction to go in?
Nope. It's about the size of like each symbol is about 6 inches in diameter, as it were, and they're just like carved right next to each other. They're not exactly like the jellyfish is a little bit lower, but that may be just because whoever did the carving didn't have like a plane or something like that.
Well, it makes sense if it's the jellyfish is to the right and it's lower.
Yeah.
Because they were carving this thing, and then to the right, it's a little lower because they didn't move.
Oh, yeah, that could be the reason. If it was a biped, that would make sense.
You see this all the time with whiteboard drawings. So they start here and then they go
just like
here
this
and
curving down.
just curves down.
All right, I'd like to copy it into my notebook.
Oh,
Yeah, we
That's
could also
great.
do like a rubbing. Yeah.
A little rubbing.
Each one would, you could like turn your piece of paper landscape. Well, your notebook's not 8.5 by 11. You have to rub each one. Right? How big is your notebook? It's like, yeah, you can fit it in.
Well, if I trace my hand, it looks
Probably
like a
this
jellyfish.
Yes, it's like, wait a minute, turkeys are just upside down jellyfish if I turned it this way.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I'll just draw them all over my hands. There we go.
You just have an entire body just covered with jellyfish tattoos. Like, what's this thing? It's like just jellyfish.
Man, this one time in the Arctic, I saw this really cool carving. I got it tattooed right here on my bicep.
Hell yeah, bro.
It means tree branch jellyfish.
Whoa, man! Every
Like-
time I look at that, it hurts my brain.
On your other arm is shoe arrow.
It's just like one of the branches is just gone. It's completely wrong.
Yes.
What?
Okay, so I have
Alright,
this.
so you
I
guys are
have
saying
my drawing.
yes. It doesn't. It's not next to the entrance. So it's on the wall,
Okay.
and you could go right or left to go further deep. But it's like this. It's not exactly like 2 tunnels, but it does seem like this rock outcropping or rock section is bigger. So that if it is just a pillar, it's a very, very big one.
Wait, so I
Okay.
have a, wait.
Tree
so
branch
or
jellyfish.
is tree branch jellyfish left or right?
They're left and right, base.
Tree
Well, why
branch
would
is
the
always on
pillar
the left,
have
and
it?
jellyfish is always on the right. That is true.
That's
Is
amazing.
this just like
Their entire language is just
It's just-
zeros and
it's
ones,
just
except they have
signs?
3 branches and jellyfish. Jellyfish is 0, tree branch is 1.
it's like
Okay.
This
It's
is
like
one giant computer.
I need
mountain.
you to meet me in cave 3. Oh, go jellyfish, tree, jellyfish, tree branch, jellyfish.
I want.
and you'll make it there.
It's like an address.
Now we look at these carvings, and are we positive it's tree jellyfish, or is it like carvings that look like
Yeah,
a
is
tree
that an
and
interpretation
carvings
we're
that
doing?
look like a jellyfish?
I wasn't there when they first
It
gazed
is-
to their eyes.
It is
upon
just your
jellyfish.
interpretation. Like it's
Right.
They are close now that you're right here. So the thing that you think is tree branch is really just like a jagged line. So it's like once again.
Yeah. How about you draw this instead
yeah,
of me
like a
trying to
jagged
draw
Y
interpretation?
shape is kind of what I'm picturing.
So what you is there an
let's
appropriate just
see.
regular marker like thing?
This one.
I have
we
a
can
pencil
use.
if you want to erase.
So the thing that you think is like tree branch,
You gotta press hard on that one,
Oh, okay.
but not too hard.
yeah, it's just something that's like this. So it looks like it might be a tree branch, and jellyfish
Oh, whoa.
is actually just this.
That could be a cave pattern. Oh, that could be all sorts of things.
Yeah. So
Those
now
could
that
both
you're
be-
here, this
yeah.
is what it looks like.
Those could both be like maps of the cave.
That looks like lightning bolt Cthulhu.
Yeah. So those are now that you're right there,
Yeah.
this is what it looks like. So
Yeah, or like a radiating sun.
Is tree
Yeah,
branch
yeah,
always on the left?
yes, at least you've only seen 2 of them. So
But
so far
I guess
it
I've
is.
only
Yeah.
seen one, so I asked these guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah, is the tree branch always on the left?
Yeah, so far we've seen it.
So to describe, it's kind of a lightning bolt shape with
But it's also
with
offshoots.
branches with
Yeah,
offshoots coming off of it, such that it kind of looks like almost like a cave branch.
Yes.
And the other one is essentially an oval with a bunch of kind of squiggly lines coming off of it, almost like a radiating sun.
Yep.
It's going down, or also kind of like the cave network was
An
described,
oval
with
with
a bunch
streamers.
of like little caves coming out.
Do each okay, for these jellyfish ones, is there always 6 little branch like?
Does that? Oh, that is 6. Of
When
them,
you
huh?
ask the question, you do realize that
Shit.
the other one you saw did also have exactly 6 squiggles extended.
Wow.
And it's always 2 long ones in the middle, 2 shorter ones, and then 2 even shorter ones out.
Are there
yup.
6? Are there 6 ones on that branch thing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Okay, so we have the lightning. So there are 5 offshoots from the lightning branch. So it could be 6 if you count the
there
forward
should
as
be 2 on the left and 3 on the right, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
So there, you could call it 6 if like the top one, you call it 1, or it could be 7 if you count every point outside of the thing.
Now, also, there was that drawing that was from earlier where he mentioned like the possibility of this like through line,
Right.
and like wouldn't that be almost like a center one?
Yeah, but
know.
the count
seem-
doesn't.
I
add
don't
up.
know about the left symbol, but the right symbol seems to imply very clearly that all these caves link up into one large
That's the
chamber.
one thing.
Now that I am able to see these symbols with my own 2 eyes, do they look like any occult symbols that I've run into over my travels?
Well, let's see. What would be your experience here? Why don't you go ahead and make your education roll, unless you have a more...
What?
Wait, you have a cult, right?
I do
Yeah,
have
go
a
ahead and
roll.
roll it.
In the direction of that.
That
Make it to the center
is
core.
a
Yeah.
37
I don't think
under my occult of 75. So that is actually exactly on the slightly better than
Hard success.
Hard
Yeah.
success, yeah.
So, unfortunately for you, your problem is not that you recognize that they might be occult symbols, is that they are ubiquitous. That basically, they were telling you tree branch jellyfish, and you're like, this is not tree branch jellyfish. This is lightning bolt sun. You see symbols like this everywhere. Every mythology has a radiating sun as a symbol of their sun god or whatever. And almost every mythology has a storm and lightning god or something like that. It's like, I don't know what you morons were thinking when you said tree branch jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
This is very clearly storm sun.
The center of the cave is warm.
Well,
I think we're getting to the
Yeah,
center of
it's,
if we
Well-
had to make a choice, I'd say we should go on the jellyfish side. If with the 2 entrances to the left and the right of the symbols. Just because it's like if all the caves converge to that one location, maybe that's where we want to go, right?
Deborah says, hey, if Danny is right, don't you rather go towards sun than storm?
Yeah. So the jellyfish
Sun is
side.
usually good. Stop calling it jellyfish. That's ridiculous. Didn't you hear what Danny just said?
Oh,
There's
so
no
we should,
such thing
should-
as a jellyfish cult.
Well,
Deborah,
call it something.
everything is something until it's something else. So
If we interpret these radiance lines as the caves and the oval as a chamber, then it has no correlation with the sun at all, and it is just a layout of the cave net.
I don't
if
know
that
about
is
that.
true, then I certainly would rather find a chamber than whatever that heck that lightning bolt thing is.
get lost in the lightning bolt caverns.
Yeah, I don't want to
That
get
is the
stuck
opposite of what I
in
want to be
dead
doing.
ends. Yeah.
There's a reason I don't do drugs.
We
So
go right?
We will go to the right. Sure.
That is the right call.
towards the king of the gods. Actually, I mean, some of them are the storm gods.
This-
Never mind.
This
Yes.
this is getting more and more like Lost with every episode.
I just hope it doesn't end like Lost, which I will never get those 7 years back.
Black, crazy mist thingy that is something.
There's
that-
a polar bear here.
There's a polar
What?
bear.
I
let's
apologize
just-
for everyone who thought Lost ended well. I was rarely ever been so disappointed by the ending of a series.
James, why would you apologize to nobody?
That's fair. There you go.
I thought you were just gonna apologize to everybody who's watched Lost.
No, I have a friend who loves Lost and thinks it was the perfect ending. I'm like, you clearly are much dumber than I ever thought you were. We fight about this all the time because he thinks it's great. All right, so you head towards the sun side. I'll just keep calling it jellyfish because it's going to get confusing if I
the
change
first-
the topology.
First thing we said, so it should
All right, so we head towards jellyfish. All right.
Sun?
The change here is that this side stops being more forest-like and more tunnel-like. It's getting to the point where, this is not like an offshoot area. This is actually like a deeper vein within the cave infrastructure where you're now actually feel like you're walking in a tunnel. It also means it's not truly the case, but it feels darker. Like before, you would shine your flashlights around and things like that, and you guys were kind of semi-spread out, so it was always like there was some light on your periphery. But now you're in kind of a smallish tunnel, it feels like it's actually darker. Like there's less light being reflected around. Everyone's kind of crunched up together.
How
Like,
wide is it?
It's sort of like a Dungeons and Dragons tunnel where like you can walk side by side, two by two,
5 foot wide.
a little bit. Except maybe not quite that. If you walk side by side, you'd be crunched up. But you can walk comfortably single file. It's still low ceiling, but there's like space on either side.
I want to be a druid.
You could definitely use a druid here. If you had a druid here, your lives would be so much
I
better.
could
Only
be
we
a
had dark
bat.
vision.
Speak to animals. Hey, why are you invading my home?
Oh, I would.
Easy solution. Game over.
Also, good
Sterling's
berries.
games all have Muppets playing his animals. It's like,
yeah, just don't
go to
ever
garage.
talk to an animal.
Like, it's like-
Have a funny voice.
they're all Muppet voices.
It's like you can speak to it. You're insane now. You are no use to anyone. Yep.
That'd be a great twist.
That would be great.
Harry, you feel a sharp pain in your eye socket. It's time for more aspirin.
Yes.
Whatever they gave you is starting to wear off, it seems.
That would be the vodka.
Well,
And
he
the-
also gave
and
you
the
painkillers.
I gave you
Yeah,
painkillers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, doctor. What's my regimen? How frequently am I supposed to be taking these pills? They're kind of wearing off.
As needed. Do you need any more?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Okay. Nice. I take
Keep up those painkillers.
I take up the recommended dosage.
Okay.
Recommended under normal
Opioid
conditions.
addiction is not a joke.
It's not actually it really isn't. So,
But right now you need
Although
it.
these
so-
are not opioids.
Sure,
are
okay.
they not?
I don't.
I mean,
Well, not if they're aspirin, like you
probably,
said.
No, they're not. These are actual painkillers.
like
they're-
hydrocodone.
Like oxy, I guess.
Are you just giving him aspirin? You have to take a lot of aspirin, like 5 at a
You
time.
would. Yeah. We'll
You have
use
to-
the real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I presume you gave him the real stuff.
Yeah.
The real.
Give them,
The
yeah.
real stuff. Not that.
Give them the stuff that's like heroin.
Grade painkillers.
Yeah. Well, I had to write another prescription out on my notepad.
That's right. You're,
Like, man, I'm
Yuri
gonna run
keeps
out of
to the
these
form. When he gets back out of here, he's going to submit them all so that, like, to make sure that Harry isn't just double dipping into the system.
You're Russian. You can give me that crocodile.
Oh, God.
What?
What?
It's that.
It's that
meth-
thing that turns your body into, like, a...
You like your body parts fall off.
yeah, your
Why?
skin,
Why
like,
would people
calcifies.
take this?
Because people like
Drugs.
to invent stupid
Oh,
drugs.
okay. It's just a drug.
It's like, what if we put bleach in this? Oh, let's try that and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleach cancels out the poisons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't feel your body parts, and you want to eat people. Great. Let's do baths.
Who's in front?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm
in the
not in the front.
Back
Are you in the very back?
because I have the sled.
Oh, that's right. You have to be in the
Let's
very-
have Deborah in the
You don't
front
have to be.
because she's
Ooh.
so eager.
Really? Okay. She is very
Whatever.
happy to be in
We're
the
all
front.
like right next to each other. So it doesn't
She
matter.
is more than happy to be in the front.
Oh, actually, we should probably have someone behind me to make sure nothing falls off the back of the sled.
Oh yes. We don't want to
That would probably be Mr. Slow.
Am I in the very back?
No, we can't have the slow
you don't
person in
want
the
the
back
slowest person in the back.
because if they slow down and we don't sit check like seeds,
I see myself as a middleman.
I'll be in the back.
All right.
I'll keep my because that's where we're not looking, but I can hear.
All right. So it
Yeah.
sounds very obvious now. Deborah is in front, followed by Yuri.
Yep, with the
Followed
gun.
by Harry, followed by Sled Dude, Dan, and then followed by Ringo. This is...
Dee Dee.
That seems optimal. Also because Yuri can then follow up on what Deborah is doing. It is making you and Deborah frustrated because you keep having to slow down to have these guys catch up. You guys are a bit frustrated because you feel like progress is going very slowly. Actually, Didi is fine because it lets him not be as exhausted pulling this thing. But you're like, gosh, why are we going so slowly? Because you're just following a sled. And because the sled is right in front of you, there's not much to see, so it's super boring.
Well, I mean, I'm having anxiety because I'm in the back, so it's like I'm constantly looking back.
Yes, you are easily picked off by anything that follows you in.
And there's this sound that's just
No, you
constantly
hear
grating
bad
on
sounds
your
all
nerves.
the time because you're like the party listener, and now you're just hearing everything.
And the
And you
sleds.
can't tell if it's the sound of these guys walking, echoing through the tunnel, or if it's because weird sled is making strange noises.
Oh yeah.
keeps like trapping gravel under the runners, and then it just goes, and you're like, is
It's
there
also
something
got that
behind
shaky
me
wheel problem,
coming?
so it's like...
Sounds like Dee Dee's the only one having a good time.
Dee Dee is not having a good time, but Dee Dee is so focused on like the exhaustion of pulling this lousy thing because it might be called a sled, but it was definitely not built to like high grade sled performance. Like,
Yeah,
We
it's just a
don't
bunch of...
have to take our clothes off to have a good time.
I wrote
Seems
a
like
100.
it's bad for us.
Oh, 100. Do tell.
All right, so Deborah is in front.
Oh,
fun.
Deborah falls into a chasm.
Not quite. Quite the opposite.
Deborah's the only one who doesn't fall into a
No,
chasm.
no. Deborah almost falls into a chasm, but she manages because you guys are going at like molasses speed. She's like shining her thing around, and you hear like, ah! And then like, Deborah suddenly like backs up, and she just runs into you backwards, like smashes into you.
Okay, I like grab a hold of her.
Yeah.
Like, steady
And
both
then
of us.
she shines her flashlight down, and it's almost unnoticeable because it's so dark in here that there's actually like a drop off, like a big pit that's right in front of you. And it's in the tunnel, but it's like a little pit that falls off. And then as you're shining up, you can see like about like maybe 8 feet further on, the tunnel continues. And then beyond that, you can definitely see there's another like wall face with a symbol carved onto it.
Ooh. Both symbols or just the one?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's tree branch jellyfish. Yeah.
Storm Sun.
All right, so there's this
So
drop.
there's no way through this chasm. It's just a...
It seems to go straight down. Like,
We can't.
There's no
If we
path
shine a
around
light,
it.
we can't see down all the way.
so you shine your light down, and it looks like it's pretty deep, but you can see what looks like a floor, maybe 20-25 feet down.
Wow.
At that point, your flashlights are weak enough that it's very dim,
Yeah.
but it does look like it stops at some point.
Well, I don't know about this one. How am I going to make it in
Well,
there?
I mean,
You do have 50 feet of rope on the, but there's really nothing to tie. Oh, you can tie it
there's
through.
no
how,
way
how,
across
how large is the chasm?
About maybe 7-8 feet.
this. Too far to jump.
I can't jump.
He definitely could not jump it.
Is the ceiling high enough to allow you to jump?
Ooh, good question.
Because you need to get height.
Is the surface? I mean, I don't think it's even possible. But is the surface rough enough on the opposite side to climb up?
No. I mean,
No?
well, it's
Okay.
not like slick or anything like that, but it's pretty vertical, and
Okay.
it's like it's not like ridged or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. All right.
There is like about a 6-inch like ledge on either side, so you could kind of like bravely not fall into the pit.
I mean,
But you would have to
6
definitely leave the
inches
sled
is,
on this side.
That's a
We
decent
couldn't
ledge.
carry any supplies. We could not carry the sled.
Well, if there's a wall on the other side, really,
It's
it's
certain
dead
death
ending
if you
anyway.
fall. Yeah. Well, is it a dead end or is it like a T intersection?
It looks like it might have a T-ish type of thing. The way the shadows are, you can't quite tell if those are just more dead-endish or if it might go further on.
Yeah.
Because once you get to that distance, the shadows look effectively like walls.
Is the okay?
So I'm picturing like the tunnel goes and then continues, and there's just kind of like this column of empty air,
Yes.
like kind of driven through where the tunnel was, or like would have been.
But so there's this tiny ledge.
Right.
Wait, if it's 6 inches on one side and it's 6 inches on the other side,
I don't think
and the
it can
tunnel's
span.
only wide X.
It's like
wide.
It's like maybe 6
6
feet.
feet. Nobody can span that with their legs.
Yes, but what about one of these planks on the sled or something? Like, could we could rig some way to
I mean, if
step
you snapped
across,
if you took the sled apart, you could turn the slats sideways and maybe cut them a little shorter. You could probably ledge it over. You could build a trap.
A span that long would not hold your weight.
If we had
Even without breaking, the flex alone could dislodge it from a
Oh, yeah.
6-inch ledge.
if it's a 6-inch ledge, we could tie a rope to one person. They can shimmy around on this ledge to the other side, and then
using something
We have rope,
or
right?
whatever to
You have a lot of rope.
yeah. Then what we can do is we can set up an anchor on one side, right? An anchor on the other side, and so then everyone else can hold onto the rope and walk on the 6-inch ledge to the other side. I just don't know how we'll get the sled across.
Okay, so if we accept that this sun shape is the layout of the cavern, there are 5 alternate paths to the rear chamber.
Right.
I don't think that the sun shape has anything to do with the layout of the cavern.
The distance of the rays are 2, 2, and 2, shorter each pair, just like the cave structure, or just like the cave entrances.
What do you mean when you say it's shorter, just like the cave entrance?
The two in the center are longest, and the 2 next to that are shorter, and then shorter. Just like the caves were bigger, the 2 central ones were largest, and smaller and smaller.
In the pause of the discussion and the considerations, people are like stroking their beards and whatnot. You hear a deep rumbling from within the pit, and it seems to be a projected rumbling that you sound very familiar, especially if you were sitting right next to a creature that was like trying to find you under a sled.
Could we throw a flare down there?
Don't. Please.
Why would you want to?
Please, no.
It's right. Is it in the pit?
Catch me up to speed. What's so wrong about throwing a flare?
Yeah, it
Crack
would
it,
hear
toss it down.
it would hear the flare.
I mean, it probably hears a whispering
and
right now anyway.
Distract. And then don't whisper. It would hear the flare. That could distract it though, to allow us to retreat.
Why is it down in the pit?
That could be its home.
Deborah goes, you don't really think those things can climb a sheer wall 25 feet out?
They have wings, Deborah.
There's no room to spread your wings. It's only 8 feet wide.
I wonder if
It's not how flying works.
this might be.
What, you
like
think these are viverns or something like that, and just vertical takeoff?
It ran.
It could be a chimney, and then down below could be another path. Like, we can only see the bottom. We can't see if it, like, opens up
Really,
down there.
I really think we should throw down a flare.
How many flares do we have?
Effectively now, as many as you want. If you start using them a lot, then
Let's just do it.
I mean,
It'll distract.
I have a flare gun.
We'll see what's down there for a moment. All right, we will see what's down there for a moment. It will hear the loud hissing ignition of the flare.
if it's
It will
attracted
attack
to the
that.
heat,
Heat
Yeah.
or sound or smell even. It will be overwhelmed with all three, and we can retreat.
I'm making a house cave alive anyway. Go ahead. Fucking do it.
And in fact, I do not believe it is. If it has heard us, it is only warning for us to stay away.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Crack open a flare and toss it down.
all right.
God.
Toss it into the tunnel. It like falls quietly,
Yes,
making
and
no
so-
noise at all. It.
Well, if it's lit, it's making noise. It goes.
Oh, that's true.
I want to watch as it goes
And it's
down.
got that really cool special effect where as it's falling, the glow of the light lights
yeah,
the cave as it's falling down. You get this like cool Star Wars effect. And it lands, and when it
Indiana
lands, like this
Jones.
little spark and this deep red in there. And it's very obvious now that at the bottom is a floor of a cave. And the glow of the light, you can almost see that because of the way the shadows are and everyone's looking over the edge. Can everyone get up to look? The tunnel is too wide. Maybe only three of you. Yeah, I guess we'll say you can all squish in there somehow and like all be peeking over.
I'm a bit taller.
we take our
I'm just
packs
wait-
off so we can all like.
Yeah, so all squish in there so you can all look and see what's going on.
We're in the Hollywood shot, obviously
Yeah,
taken at
exactly.
a different location where we're all like, what?
Yeah, this is one of the moments that
Like
when
six people.
like when the experts are analyzing the movie, it's very clear that they changed the venue for the shot so that everyone could fit in there. It's like there's no way this could have worked in the real physics of it.
It's like in cartoons where they stick their head around the corner and then everyone sticks their
Yeah.
head around the corner.
You notice like
on
it's
top.
very clear that the styrofoam set has changed a little bit. Like there's a wrong and the rocks don't match. So anyway, so the flare falls in, it bounces a little bit, and you can definitely see that Didi was right. It looks like this is another tunnel system under the previous one, where the way you came from, there's a parallel tunnel under here, and further on, there's a parallel tunnel that continues forward. And it's sizzling, and it's really, really quiet. And then a few seconds later, you hear that rumbling again coming out from the tunnel. And now that you're all looking over, it's definitely very clearly the amplified sound of one of these creatures.
Is it getting closer?
Yeah, is it louder?
It's hard to tell. The echoey nature of it makes it so that it sounds almost exactly the same as before.
Well, damn. I really wanted to get a look at that symbol on the other side, but if you fall in, you're definitely dead.
And then the rumbling repeats.
Let's
Mate,
let's
I
make
has-
our way back to the booth.
I hazard a guess. It's probably lightning bolts or leaf jellyfish, whatever you want to pick. I'm pretty sure it's just another one of those same symbols.
I figured out a way to get the sled across the chasm. We get two people across, right? And then we get a pair of ropes. Ropes go into the middle, in between the little sled legs. And then the one on our side lifts it up and it just slides on down to the other side.
This is a pretty heavy sled.
And then a very fast shadow passes over your flare, and what's left is very, very dark, but you can barely see a red glow coming further along from the tunnel underneath, as if something had just pushed the flare super far away down the tunnel, but hasn't been able to put it out.
Let's make our way back towards the cave.
Alright.
And then you hear a crunch, and the light goes out.
The crunch of a tortilla chip.
Should we
Unless it ate the flare, the chemical reaction should still be going. So maybe it ate the flare.
Well, you guys know how flares work. You really can't just step on a flare and put it out. Like, because it is a...
burning.
But it
It's a
did
burning.
go out?
You hear a
Yeah.
loud crunching noise, and then it's dark.
That's crazy.
Should we really go back?
Because like if you stamp on it, it's just gonna burn your foot.
Yeah.
Like
Or even break
even with
open and be even worse. So something happened. Someone or something down there that has something better than just a soft paw was able to like smash down on the flare and put it out.
Or like a
tasty.
like a horn. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't look at it, but I just think of like unicorns. I don't know.
All right, dude. Let's.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. Spot hidden rolls.
Yeah.
It's like, did we lure it to our location?
I got a 40, which is my medium.
Did not do it.
Didn't
72 under 75.
no fail.
Okay. Just 40. Make a luck check.
That is a 60 under 63.
Okay. You are not sure because there was so much going on in such a short amount of time and a distraction. But you thought you saw there might have been something carved at the very base of the far side of the tunnel, at the base of the pit. So like if this is the tunnel and the pit comes down here, there might have been something carved right near the ceiling. So if you were heading this way, you would see it there. But then it got
Holy
dark and you
crap.
couldn't see it.
Drop another flare to just antagonize this creature.
You draw multiple.
It's like, yeah, I love these toys.
Yeah, you do have effectively as many flares as you want until you start overusing
The
them.
the flare is.
I
gonna be
relay this
better.
information pretty much verbatim the way you said it.
Okay.
Like,
I think we should drop another flare.
Drop another flare right next to the creature, such that like the creature who knows the layout of this place will say, "Oh, there's something up there. I will go find it."
I mean,
And you hear the rumbling again.
To declare to the creature our location.
Pretty far of a stretch that I would understand cause and effect.
is the rumbling sort of timed evenly?
No, it's happening frequently, but not on a cycle.
Okay.
I think
The creature is right down there. It will hear the flare from the moment we light it.
sure, and
All right,
it
well,
was there
up here.
before as well.
No, it may have been farther elsewhere, and it came to where the flare was.
Suggest you prepare your gun then. We just all need to.
We should all
Plug
prepare
our
our
ears.
guns.
Are you going to take a shot?
I mean, if
I-
it comes up, you know.
I pulled the shotgun out of somewhere, and I'm like, I can't hit it from this distance.
No, I'm not going to attempt to shoot it.
Okay, but if it comes up, all right, yeah. I
'Cause
say
we still don't-
we light another flare because I feel like whatever information we can get from these symbols is gonna help us stay alive.
This seems so
That
risky.
was a good catch.
Deborah, what do you think?
You should definitely throw down a flare. We need to see what's down there. Plus, like I said, they can't get up here.
I don't believe that at all. I'm sure they can get up here.
These things can go where they won't.
Well, like Ringo said, then better ready your gun. I'll light the flare.
Okay.
Nice.
Very well.
Okay.
All right. Once again, beautiful
Steering.
Star Wars like scene. Everyone's looking. Now that you're looking for it, everyone can see it. And the flare hits the ground, brightly lit. On the far edge, something carved there. It's like 24, 25 feet, or 20 feet down. It's not super clear, but because you all want to be looking for it, it does also look like lightning bolt jellyfish. Tree branch jellyfish. Right. But it's not clear because it's at a very steep angle. It looks like that's probably what it is, but if there's any fine detail that's different, you definitely can't tell from up here.
It's in the
Alright.
same order.
Probably. It's really small from here. Right? Like, now that you know to look for it, you can see that there's something there, and it could be just because it's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Great. So glad we did that. Now let's leave.
All right.
There's now a howling sound. Remember the first time when you first heard monsters in the hillsides? There's that weird howling sound that was kind of like a Godzilla / Puma sound. That is now coming out from there. Like when the second flare hits, you get that sound.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
All right, let's move.
Are you retreating?
Yeah, I think so.
As quietly as we can,
Yes,
please.
So the first thing you discover
Although under the cover of howling,
Yeah.
we can.
is that
It's
You
how.
Yeah.
it... Make a luck check. Just you.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I have
yeah.
really
Can we
low
do
luck,
this-
you guys.
Can we do the sled backwards?
0-1.
You
One-
discovered that based on some weird engineering like accident, the sled is actually more efficient if you pull it from the other side going backwards. Wow. You set it up incorrectly. It turns out the retreat is faster because it turns out the sled would have been better had you attached the pulling mechanism on the other side.
I was wondering how we were gonna turn this sled around.
Yes.
In this.
As opposed to like what I originally was planning, it's like, oh, it turns out the way you set up the sled, it doesn't actually slide backwards.
Let's turn this
But yes,
sled
as
around.
it turns out, Yuri was better at this than he thought. He just didn't remind you. No, it's supposed to go on that side.
Wow.
Turns out you were pulling the sled backwards all along, which is why it was so hard.
Nice.
No wonder it was so hard. Okay.
Yes. So, are you retreating all the way back to the original intersection?
I want to. I think we should take this opportunity to follow Markham's trail. I mean, we were deciding between
But didn't
the
we,
cave or Markham's trail.
Well, I mean,
But
there was
didn't we
two
lose
cave
Malcolm's
entrances.
trial?
Like we
no,
don't know.
we
where,
just saved it for later.
we don't
no,
know where.
but like we lost it as in
No,
we
we
lost
chalked.
track of his footprints.
It
No,
just
we
goes.
chalk-
We have the footprint. It's not clear where they go, but there is a clear direction to
It's
follow.
a general direction.
You make a line from where we landed to the boot print and continue.
I'd prefer if we do the other cave entrance, the one that's next to the
The one on the left.
the left entrance.
By the way, you guys are still running out the tunnel. This
Yes,
is all
this-
yelling and
this
serious.
is-
Yeah.
And the hauling is behind you, and you get maybe halfway-ish where you thought you had been, because as you were coming down, you weren't really doing a great job of measuring how far you had gone, so you're kind of losing track. But you think you were about halfway back, and you hear this noise, and it's like the howling is now in the tunnel with you.
Oh,
At least one of you thinks Deborah was so wrong about them not being able to come out.
should we
Like,
should we fortify?
wonder who's in the back. Is it still? Oh, it's gonna be you.
Yeah.
You can't run at all. No, you're hobbling at the best as you can. Make a strength check.
'Cause if it's in the tunnel, we should prepare.
That is a 47 under 60.
Perfect. Make a con check.
That is a 73 over 45.
All right. Boy, you wish those painkillers were kicking in better, but they are not. Now your eye hurts, your ankle hurts. You feel like you're making it worse, and these bastards that are your friends, they are not waiting for you. They're like you feel like you're falling further and further behind, and the hauling is coming closer and closer towards you.
Do we notice that the howling is in the tunnel with us as
It
well?
sounds like it. Like it sounds like it's in the tunnel. It's very subtle. It could be a trick of the echoing. Making a cult roll.
Where's my cult? Where is it? Let me just make the roll first. Oh, fuck. That's not good. 87 over... I don't even know where my cult's at. 5.
Oh, okay.
Standard 5.
Sure thing. All right. You feel a heaviness that is pressing against your back. Like as the howling comes, it seems to be coming closer and closer, and like it's almost like a wind is pushing you forward and blowing you forward, as if you were like in a heavy storm or something like that. In the back of your head, you almost hear the sound of like thunder. Like you can't tell if it's like just noise in your ears or like that ringing, or if it's just because the headache in your eye is so strong that it's affecting your hearing.
So,
Okay.
The moment after you realize this, you feel something super big and heavy, like just smash into your back and knock you forward.
Like forward all the way to the ground, or just forward?
like knock to the ground.
Okay.
And pass over you.
Okay.
Let's see who's in front of you.
Oh no.
My intention was
Okay,
always to stay quiet.
If it's in the I wanted to when we hear the toweling in the tunnel to turn around and prepare to fire.
That's why I was saying
but
fortify.
You guys were
It's
still
like,
going.
It's like, get down, Mr. President.
So I want to throw my ear plugs in.
Oh,
and
okay.
Turn around to fire.
I put my AirPods on. It's like, okay.
No, I know that I can't.
I put on my Beats
I will
by
go
Dre.
deaf if I.
No,
have
before any of
those.
that happens, the three of you need to make luck checks.
Okay.
Woohoo! Wow.
Oh yeah, baby.
I got 4 under 85.
44 over 29.
13 under 40. My luck sucks. But
Wait, you made 13 under 40? I'm sorry, what was
13
yours?
under 40.
4 under
I have
85.
29 luck.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mine's are.
You started off with better luck than me. But you
I
spent
started
double
off with
it.
45. Yeah,
Yep.
but I burned. I've been burning.
Okay, make a power roll.
Oh no.
Wait, everyone?
No, just
Attempt to roll under, right?
Yeah.
Same as 28 under 40.
All right. So you put your ear things in, and you turn around. You yell out to people that they need to like get ready, and as you turn around, you see it coming right for you, and you're about to like pull your gun out, and as you turn around, you flash your flashlight, and for the first time, you see this thing face to face. It's like 6 inches away, and there are no eyes. It opens its mouth. The tongue flicks right out. You can feel the saliva splash in your face, and this silent roar passes over you. You can feel the energy of it, and not a sound. And this episode ends. We'll find out Yuri's fate next week.
Oh, spooky. Did you make both rolls?
I failed luck. I
failed his luck
succeeded
check.
power.
Got it.